Jarring. Man, well, you know it's jarring. It's Busted Pencil's fully leaded education talk. Educated educators talking education. Homeroom. Man, I cannot believe we are back in homeroom again. Who is we? We is Johnny Lupinacci, the doctor, chairman of the board, Jacob, and me, the other doctor, Tim Slecker. And no, we cannot write you a prescription. We're not those kinds of doctors.
I'm out
We're
of here
actually
then.
Jacob, you were looking like you needed a prescription on this homeroom morning there. I, you know, I can give you some advice.
Oh, great. Yeah, that's what I was looking for, Doctor. Advice. All right, it's Monday morning. I thought you were Dr. Feelgood. This is all falling apart. But, please,
Wait.
give me some sage advice.
Motley Crue, Dr. Feelgood. I remember that. You're not talking about, the Dr. Feelgood they were talking about was not the Dr. Feelgood for long-term feeling good.
I'm talking about a very reputable guy that helped President Kennedy get through some hard days. And if JFK's doing it must be good. I mean, that guy had a good head on his shoulders.
All right. And we are going for it. Hey, love this. And, again, like homeroom because it's, kind of random education things that we're talking about just to get the week going. And I saw this and I was like, oh, that's interesting. Higher ed dive, Taco Bell. Yes. That stuff that you get and go, wow, did I really just eat that? Yeah. Check it out, though. They have education benefits, and that is driving retention. In other words, working at Taco Bell, people tend to stay working at Taco Bell longer because Taco Bell offers education benefits. What are education benefits? No, not education on how to make things that might not look like food appear like something you could eat. Not that kind of education. They actually get money to go to college to get advanced degrees. And a lot of people, I've heard this, it's like, well, if you incentivize employees to get an education, they'll just leave. And that's not what's happening at Taco Bell. Actually, there are more people who take advantage of that education benefit and then come back and stay at Taco Bell. And I would say Taco Bell is not alone. Walmart has had a very successful education benefits program. So that's where we are. Well, that's where I wanted to bring this up and go, why aren't more places doing that if it's that good for retention? That's my question on this homeroom morning. Johnny, Jacob.
Well, I don't know that I have an answer for you, Tim, but I do have a follow-up question. Why you hate Taco Bell so much, bro?
I don't.
You wouldn't know that if you were just listening.
No, I tell you what.
He's like, the stuff that might not be food looks like food.
I mean, the bean burrito, one of
delicious.
Classic. Love that.
Yeah,
love it. And anyway, no, but education benefits.
I think it's a great thing, Tim. Like anytime any institution invests in its people, this isn't a hard equation. Like you laid it out, you feel valued by your employer. You have a clear pathway to your own improvement, your betterment, the skills you not only could offer that company that you work for, but also we've seen lots of research on this, states investing in their state employees, getting degrees to avoid brain drain, right? Which is moving to other states, like really investing in your people. When you invest in your team, whatever it is, you tend to get really great long-term results. So it's great when I think it's great when we see these kinds of programs. Another one, just to throw a shout out there, I've had many students, especially graduate students in the last decade, who got their bachelor's degree through Arizona State partnership and Starbucks. Many of my, baristas, I think that's gender neutral term. I need to check on that because it's ends in an A. Could be like maybe
Yeah.
there is a whatever. The people who serve coffees and those
Mhm.
fancy drinks at Starbucks, also have a benefits package. That's how I always like to talk about it too. Not like anyone's taking advantage of it,
Yeah.
Mhm.
but they're exercising, a part of their employment benefit package. I love that. Like a company says, we invest in you and the
Mm.
hard labor you put in there, usually for, a slightly lower pay than might be desirable. So I don't know about if that's exactly the best thing, but saying, hey, one of the things we provide for employees is an opportunity to further their education, right?
Mhm.
And have these partnerships. By and large, that I've seen do some pretty great things. Some of my most accomplished students,
Mhm.
right, have worked their way through GED and into, associates and bachelor's degrees. And I've even heard stories of advanced graduate program degrees where companies say, hey, you're a really great computer programmer. Take it to the next level, further your education. In fact, we'll invest in that. And
Mhm.
sometimes there's usually a little bit of an expectation that like there's a return on that investment. Maybe it's a certain number of years or whatnot. But even when there isn't that, we tend to see that people stick around. And it's not hard to believe, Tim, right? Like if you're
No.
valued and people believe in you and you're fulfilled and you're, better at what you do and they value you for that. Wow. I've seen like that sounds like a pretty awesome place to stay working. And I don't know what it's like to work at Taco Bell. So this isn't an endorsement for that. But Tim, I loved this program you shared. I especially love the name
Yeah.
Tacos and Tuition,
I
right?
love that. I was just thinking, like, Jacob, you got that look. I mean, Jacob, you're like, wait, man, tacos and tuition?
That's a good
Yeah.
deal, and I think like $5.99, right? That's the number 7 tacos and tuition. So you get a degree, you get a quesalupa. It works out pretty well for everybody. I think that's great, Tim, having a program like that for Taco Bell. It's cool. I mean, like Johnny said, you've seen other places have similar things like Starbucks, and why not? I mean,
Chipper.
if you
Chipper does it.
I love chipper, and I'm feeling chipper now that we're talking about nice things happening in the world instead of, back on Saturday, we're talking about all the challenges in the world. It's
But
cool. It's good to see.
but I see, and then this here, I would, here, higher education. Yeah, coming off the Saturday show, if you listen to this, here's an opportunity, right? Um, Local industries, Taco Bells, you have them around. Is this a potential for a higher ed institution to be in partnership with Taco Bell
Yeah.
to say, "Hey, we've got business degrees, we've got hospitality degrees. If you're giving tuition to your workers, well, we've got programs here that would benefit, them." And see, this is where you say it's like, wait, if we were collaboratively working together, communities, industries, higher education, man, there's a lot that can be done. So yeah, I know I was making fun of Taco Bell when actually I actually have spent a lot of time hitting the Taco Bell drive-through when sometimes they're just because it tastes so good. I love that. But now the fact too, and then now I'm even a little bit more encouraged because I wanna go to Taco Bell and support them even more because of the incredible work they're doing with their employees and putting this forward. Yeah, Johnny, you mentioned Starbucks, Chipotle, Walmart, they're out there and, boy, think about that, if you're, looking for, that connection because I will say one of the other criticisms, for higher ed institutions is that they isolate themselves that, the kind of beacon on a hill. Well, you know what? Get out of the hill, go down, get yourself, a bean burrito and a chalupa and, make a connection there and create a partnership because you know what? When it comes to education, hey, if somebody's putting forward the idea that they support education, then if we're an education institution, that could be trade school, that could be anything. Man, let's work together because you know what? More education for more of our citizens, that just makes for a better place to live in America. And now it's time for your moment of Zen. There is no such thing as a pure fact, innocent of interpretation. Behind every fact presented to the world by a teacher, a writer, anyone is a judgment. The judgment that has been made is that this fact is important and that other facts omitted, they're not important.
Hey, Busted Pencils listeners, you're important. And thank you for listening to today's Homeroom podcast. And remember, grab other great podcasts filled with more Busted Pencils content on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and of course on the Civic Media website or at bustedpencils.com. And don't you miss this week's class in session on Wednesday. And you find that special drop of Producer's Choice on Friday. And of course, catch Busted Pencils every Saturday at 3 p.m. Central Time across all the Civic Media Network stations for 1 hour of your favorite blue-collar scholars, Tim and Johnny, and keep busting pencils.